Right, let's try this. All the shenanigans. Nothing's working. Right, let's find this. Where's my live monitoring gone? Dark live monitor. Oh, fuck this. Right. Oh, TikTok, you do make things difficult. Whatever. Right. Desperately, desperately, desperately want to go back to painting my Deathwatch kill team, but I can't. Because even though I'd finished many white world eaters a few days back, the guy that I paint for has decided he needs another 10 berserkers. Lord Invocatus, like ASAP. So I paused that to quickly smash out ten of these. So I've got to blood splatter them and other bits and pieces, but I thought what I can do is, because there's some pigment powders and stuff involved with the bases, I thought sod it, let's just get the bases started so that at least when I blood splatter them and stuff, some of it will probably end up on bases. And I am running out of time now for getting these finished. And the Deathwatch, I'm literally just constantly having to do edge highlight after edge highlight after edge highlight. So let's do some mindless painting quickly. That'll work. I haven't been on live. I haven't been on TikTok for quite some time. Then I haven't been on TikTok for ages because TikTok's been weird. And I'm not a massive fan of the fact that TikTok on phone, TikTok on Restream, and then TikTok on PC Live seems to be like 3 different freaking things. So just to prove that I'm not dead, I'm currently streaming through my phone on TikTok. I would much rather be painting the Deathwatch that are currently at the back there. But these world eaters are almost there. As I say, we'll get the bases done. There's a small amount of possible oil washes and bits and pieces to do on them, and then there's the blood splatter. So since I use pigment fixer on the bases, I thought I'll do it now so that it's dried. The bases will be dry later on and we can carry on. The pigment fixer doesn't take a massively long amount of time, to be fair. I've just realised that on my YouTube and my Twitch that this is probably going to be really badly out of focus. My massive hand is in the picture, and my camera likes to autofocus on my hand a lot. Everyone is good on this lovely, incredibly rainy Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. It's really hard to tell because the kids have gone back to school. So it's completely thrown me off. I shall stay off Facebook today because so my timeline is people posting up pictures of their kids in their school uniform. It's definitely a painting day though. It's pissing down. Right, I'm going to move this camera a little bit. That's because it's really struggling. So my Deathwatch kill team are all built. So in theory, if Matt decides to show his face today, I may actually be able to play with the new Deathwatch today. I know they're not technically, well, technically they are fully painted. They do have 100% coverage of paint on them. They're not painted very nicely yet. But yeah, they are useful. Oh, this is. It is acrylic, yes. Currently, everything's acrylic on there. At the moment, we'll slap some pigment powders on the bases in a bit, and then possibly got some oil washes to do. But then we'll be calling it a day, and these are a quick emergency squad needed by a guy that I paint for. Completely ruined my plans on getting my Deathwatch painted over the last couple of days. Having to paint these guys as quick as possible. Yeah, I mean, if you some of the oil paints and things like that tend to be a bit more realistic. The acrylics, especially for the Games Workshop ones, some of them are a bit more on the sci-fi, brighter colours. Most of AK's like oil paints are more natural, realistic colours. But we will add some enamel and oil washes and stuff to these before I seal it all in with an ultra matte varnish. And I bothered to find one of my crappy brushes as well to do the job, which is unlike me, especially in the morning. I would have probably had an expensive one. To be honest, I use AK Interactive or Absalom 502, 502, 501. What the hell is it? 502? Yeah, Absalom 502 oils. They're designed for miniatures, so I don't have an issue with them drying, and once they're sealed, there's no real issue. I do have friends who literally just use artist oils, and they tend to take an absolute age to dry. But I have a feeling that's also down to them not putting. So one of my friends who does paint with oils, he says to put it on cardboard to draw the oil out, and they don't do that. They're just applying straight from tube, so that's probably why. I don't know. I'm not a paint scientist, but yeah, the 502 stuff is very good. It's definitely got less oil and everything in it. Right, so I'm just going to grab literally a slightly lighter grey. Do a super lazy, quick overbrush over that. That is not a palette. It is a post-it pad. I'm being lazy. I can't be asked to even find a palette. So in a mo, I've got to do, oh god, I really don't want to do it either. I've got to do some pigment powder on the face. I really don't want to do that, because no matter how careful I am, I'll end up with little balls of it everywhere, and then I'll randomly get orange fingers or orange hands every once in a while, as I inevitably touch the pigment powder. So dry brush these over, then apply pigment powder, then a pigment fixer, and then that's them done for a minute. While they're drying, I'm going to go back to edge highlighting the Marines. Just get some super boring edge highlighting done while I'm still technically waking up. What was that message? Oh my god. What does he just message me? Is it inappropriate, or is it relatively funny? Amazing. One of my friends works in retail, and he said that he's just had an actual Italian person say "Mamma mia" to him with hand. He's written hand gesticulations as well. Awesome. Right. Okay. So that's that bit done. Oh no, it's not, because I've forgotten the whatever this guy's called, Lord Onjug, I think. Whatever the one is that is not an Invocatus is called. What is this flash goal? What is this random? What is this thing that says flash goal? Oh, I've clicked it. Whatevs. If that means it gets it off the screen, all good. I know it's on the screen, piss off. Now it's gone, right. So yeah, if I can quickly get it so that these bases have to be left alone while they dry, I can go back to painting the Death Watch. Right, I do. Okay, so get rid of that pot. Get rid of that palette. Palette, not palette. Let's just wash my brush off. Right, pigment powder. I need a sacrificial piece of paper. Something I can bin. What's this? Yeah, that'll do. This is but a delivery note. Right, this is way more organised than I normally am with this sort of thing, but I'm just going to bung this under here a second. At least you never know. It might be for the first time ever that I don't. Oh, but it's white. My camera's going to go nuts at that, isn't it? No, it'll be right. Right, might be the first time ever that I don't get pigment powders all over my hands. Oh, I failed already. It's already on my thumb. Right, shitty brush. I need a shitty brush. Not necessarily a shitty brush, but this one will do. Right. And now to randomly dab some pigment around. And it doesn't have to be massively. The idea is for it not to be uniform. We'll fix it with Pigment Fixer and then it will get dry brushed anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's too strong. This is why I didn't actually pay too much attention to the dry brushing either, because I'm going to be dry brushing over this. So it's fine. Already dropping pigment all over this paper, so this is how I get it everywhere, all over my hands and stuff. So it doesn't massively matter if I go too heavy with it, because I am going to be dry brushing over the top anyway. And yes, these are simple, boring ass bases, but it's a tournament army, it's commission work, and it just needs to be done. It's only for it had to be simple and easy to replicate. And also, I started doing these sorts of bases for him years ago, and every time he's like, I want the same sort of bases. So, thankfully, though, managed to get away with it on the fantasy side of things, because this doesn't really work for fantasy. So yeah, pretty much going live just to show that I am still alive, actually alive. Not being on TikTok lately, literally because TikTok's been an ass and randomly won't connect to Restream anymore, even though I can go live anytime. That's actually way too much, but whatever. I'll fix it. I'll fix it later. God, there's so many little globules of it on this paper. I'll actually be amazed if I don't have any of this on my hand properly. I think I've just saw a little tiny ball just roll off there. That'll be on the floor, so I'm going to step on that tiny ball, and somehow it will end up being like a massive orange blob later. You wait. Just you wait. Oh, you bastard. I just nudged him. Oh, there you go. There's one that's just pinged off over there. Another big blob of it there. Definitely giving myself extra dry brushing work here. 100%. Right, how many more have we got? 3, 6, 7, 3 more to go. And then we will clean this brush off, get the fixer, fix it all down, and then that's it, they can dry. And as I say, I can go back to highlighting, edge highlighting, some Death Watch. More. So these aren't mine, these are for a commission, but my ones are the same. I do actually have, I've done the same colour for my own world eaters, but mine are a bit more weathered. I've spent a bit more time on them, mainly because I'm not having a whole army of them, and also because mine aren't going to be speckled with blood like his are. His are always flecked with blood. Oh, I actually do have a flecked with blood version here, because he gave me one to make sure that they were the same. Right, now I've got a bottle of gravel and sand fixer from AK that is basically orange, because I've literally used it for this entire army. So I'm just going to run it on the bases, and then the magic of capillary action should do the job of, he says, and then it doesn't do it. But the worst thing is that I hope I don't run out of this all of a sudden, because I've got some more on order, but it's not going to arrive in time. Now, unlike a lot of the fixes I've seen, this stuff actually dries back to matte, so I tried some other fixes and the pigment looked weird afterwards. Okay, let's chuck him over there a second so he's out of the way. So I've basically got to get these 10 bases sealed and then leave them to dry an hour or so, and then I will come back and I will dry brush them back up. And kind of glad that I'm doing this now, because as I say, I'm pretty sure this is the last time I'll be using this fixer. And then when I get my new bottle, I'm going to make sure I decant it into a separate thing so that I don't contaminate it, because I can only use this one for orange bases now, or for the orange pigment. Also, this stuff stinks. I haven't turned my air filter on, so I should make sure I do that in a moment. Okay. Don't know what I'm okie doking about. I'm not done. I don't know why. My brain was like, yeah, you're done. No. Still got like 5. Oh, customer. Back on. Hey, are you right?
Hiya, you alright? From South West Water.
Okay.
Just doing some water sampling. Wondered if you had like a staff room kitchen.
Southwest Water. Coming in here. Grr. I always wanted to do pre-heresy world eaters. Now, technically they're a bit wrong because I've done them gold, haven't I? Whereas, in theory, it should all be silver because I don't think the brass. I think it was gunmetal and white and blue, wasn't it? But yes, I think they look sick this way. I would like to do a tester one where I'm just doing all gunmetals over all of the trim and stuff as opposed to the gold. But since this is Commission Army, I'm not going to suddenly change things now. I do have a, what's the massive one called? Lord of Skulls? Is that the tracked one? I've got one of those to get started on, and I think he's going to be interesting. I'm torn on whether or not I do him white. I feel like I should. I feel like, kind of feel like you could probably use, oh, I don't know, no. Well, if you switched out maybe the arms, the bolt pistols, and the chain glaives and everything with heresy ones, I feel like these would be. Could you get away with using them in 30k? The real like siege era 30k. I don't think the mutations, the corruptions, were really all that prevalent in. I don't know if mutations are they? It's essentially just armor changes. But I think they do always say it in the fluff that the armor doesn't. The armor takes a long time. Or it takes like a decent amount of exposure to the warp for it to start like changing itself. Right, now I did say there's no way I'm going to get away with not getting this pigment crap on my fingers. I'm purposely doing it for a second because I'm moving them because I've got Deathwatch Kill Team to crack on with. So I'm moving these guys over while their bases. While that fix the dries out. The reason I almost said rimming them. The reason I did technically just say that anyway, didn't I? The reason I'm doing this is because that pigment fixer stuff gets on the rims, and then I haven't put any sealer on that, and I know exactly what happened is I'll pick them up later and I'll get orange on my hands. And there you go. See, cheeky little bastard. I'd rather get the orange on my fingers now, since I'm about to like purposely wash my hands, than later when my hands are clean and this shit gets everywhere. Okay. Moving them off. Let's get rid of them. Let's get rid of them and go back to the incredibly more boring blue edge highlighting of the Death Watch. Okay, now how are we going to do this? How are we going to stop these from flying everywhere, getting everywhere? It's probably an easier way. There, I trapped them. Okay. Can you tell that I've been painting world eaters by the blood-flecked mess that is my painting area? I refuse to wash that off as well, because it actually does look like I've got blood misted blood spray over my painting desk. Right, 2 seconds. I need to go and grab a cloth to wipe my hands off. Let's move these up here. And then try to remember which ones I've already been working on for El Death Watch. That is a... Thank you. Your name is a bit freaky fiddler. That's a freaky name. Right. Let me just go and get a cloth to wipe my hands. Get this pigment powder off of them. My god, that rain is hammering down. Right. Where is it? Where's my paint? I have wiped my hands as well as I can be bothered. I will just live with the staining. So, here's a question. Am I capable, or do I know how to can I change my update all titles? Does that work? We'll soon find out. So, this is probably the most boring thing to do, I'm afraid. Do you know what? I'm going to cheat and say that my favourite Astartes chapter is the Death Watch. It's not technically a chapter though, is it? So that's kind of... I don't know. Raptors. Raptors are my favourite. I guess you could say that Raven Guard are as well. I like the stealthy. I like the sneaky boys. Sneaky boys are my favourite. I don't know why. I find the whole idea of sneaking about in power armor to be hilarious. Right, I think I've already done him, so I've got to check these guys off. I've got to see where these like really like horrible, bright, chunky little extreme highlighty bits are. So we're at the most basic stages of painting this armor at the moment. Oh, see now I do. I've got a soft spot for Imperial Fists, and pretty much all of their successor chapters. So yeah, I'm with you there. I also do have a soft spot for Space Wolves, so they are up there. But yeah, I do love Fists. Crimson Fists are awesome. Obviously, Imperial Fists are awesome. Black Templars are awesome. Size of the Emperor, yeah, Size of the Emperor. They're Fists. They definitely have some of the best successor chapters. Which is funny because when I was a kid, it was all dark. I was all about the Dark Angels. Nowadays, not so much. I think probably Dark Angels annoy me the most because I grew up, read the books, and realised that Lionel Johnson was an absolute dickhead. So during the Great Crusade, anyway, him waking up like Charles Dance, Lion, he's amazing. Mainly because he knows that he was a dickhead in his youth. White Scars are cool, yeah. When it comes to Heresy, though, pre-Heresy Death Guard are my, and of the Chaos Marines as well, Death Guard as well. Death Guard both ways. Oh, look, I'll beat you to it. Ask me about my favourite Chaos faction. I'll beat you to it. I've got a real soft spot for World Eaters, but the World Eaters bug me. Heresy World Eaters really annoy me. Angron pisses me off. I think they've got the worst Primarch, but yeah, Death Guard are my favourite. Thousand Suns are fine. I like Thousand Suns in a way. They also do annoy me a bit, especially just because of their fluff. And Magnus is one of my least favourite Primarchs as well. I think he's a bit too OP lore-wise. Not so much game-wise. I don't really play 40k anymore, so I keep my 40k restricted to small-scale stuff, like Kill Team. Did that update? Did it? I don't think it did. So I think my title is now no longer working, no longer relevant, because I am not painting my World Eaters anymore. I should really have sorted out which ones needed doing before I just grabbed one and started doing it, shouldn't I? But never mind. I haven't even started doing the silvers and stuff yet. Okay. Yeah, 100% haven't done this guy at all. I've also been really bad, and I'm not systematically doing what I normally do. So normally what I do is I start with one foot and work my way around, and don't go any higher than that foot until that foot's done, and then I go to the next foot, and then I do that, and then I go up and like around. And because I'm yapping, I've just willy-nilly just jumped about and just doing tiny lines wherever I want. That was not a tiny line. That was a big, thick, chunky line. It doesn't really matter because we'll be glazing it back to black anyway, but if we can fix it a bit, I can fix it just a tiny bit. It will make life a little bit easier later on. I've got a new fruit fly in the shop as well. I don't know where he came from. He keeps landing on my hand. Oh, I can see him. He's there. He's over to the side. So we'll see how long it takes for him to land on the mini or my hand while I'm painting. I've not named him yet. I'll name him if he becomes annoying. I forget what the one was called from the other week. Boris? Was it Boris? Nope. He has joined. He's on the mat. He's running around by the pot now. It's alright, he's gone off the other way. So these are all being dry brushed essentially already, but we lost quite a lot of the brighter highlights when we did a reapply. So that's why I'm going around just doing real quick little chunky lighter highlights. And then I'm probably going to wreck it all by doing something else. So I'm just going to have a quick... Right, so now, did I just miss this on this guy? He's blatantly had it done to him. Yeah, I've done it to his legs and stuff already. Top 3 successor chapters. Scythes of the Emperor, because they're cool. Also, I just like the fact that it's like 2 freaking farmers' scythes over a black background. Carcharodons, but more what if you read the books, the book Carcharodons, not the like fan art, like fucking Maui from Moana, like full on Maori. We love sharks and fish and stuff. I just like the hodgepodge, like pieced together. We live in the dark and the scary type Carcharodons. Sorry, I got sidetracked then. Yeah, Raptors, Carcharodons, and Scythes. Those are my 3 successor chapters. So, I'm pretty sure Scythes are supposed to be Raven Guard. Ooh, Celestial Lions are cool. I don't think I can picture the Now you're going to make me look, aren't you? Charnel Guard. Charnel Guard. That's a cool colour. Oh yeah, I know that colour scheme. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I'd 100% do that. Yeah, I know who that is now. Ristalker, I think I can picture in my head. They're the whitish ones. Yeah, they're like the white ravens, basically, aren't they? Yeah, yeah. I thought, yeah, I know who that is. Yeah, it's funny that Channel Guard one. That's like, or I quite like it because it's almost word bearer, like word bearer card scheme. Yeah, Raptors I know Raptors are supposed to be Raven Guard successors. Everyone says so. I think Carcharodons they started as a Raven Guard successor because as far as I'm pretty sure they are in heresy terms. They're the Raven Guard, the Terran Raven Guard that got Terran Raven Guard that got like exiled by Corax in the when he came when he started with the chapter. I'm pretty sure that's right. And then I think they're a bit more. They've got a mix now of Night Lords. I think fluff-wise, it was something to do with them raiding a gene seed storage and thinking it was Raven Guard, but ended up with a bunch of Night Lords. And with them, it'd be really hard to tell as well because obviously both the Night Lords and the Raven Guard are pasty skinned with black eyes. So I've technically picked 2 Raven Guard successor chapters as my favourites. So as I said, I've already basically done a whole bunch of highlighting on the edges of this armour, but because I reapplied a super thin coat of Black Templar contrast paint, it's dulled it all down. See, if I was to add more chapters to that, I would say the OG Soul Drinkers, just because I love their fluff. And I could be boring and say Flesh Terrors because they're a successor chapter. But I'd actually probably say I prefer Crimson Fists. Always had a soft spot for Crimson Fists. Can we get away with leaving him like that? I think we can. Pretty sure I've done a few of these. He's definitely got some chunky ones on his upper extremities. I also changed his shoulder pad up to a Dark Angels one because I realised that I had 2 Flesh Terrors in Gravis. I always wonder with a few of those, like GW have a tendency of like changing the fluff and getting rid of people. Doom Legion, the one with the trident, is that the one I'm thinking of? Let me have a look. Oh no, Doom Legions, yeah, I know who that is. It's the ones where if you just add a bit of purple, you end up looking like what's his face from Toy Story? They're the green and white ones, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah, I know they messed a bunch of the fluff up with a load of stuff, so I try not to look at the moment because I get sad when they retcon things. So I did a bunch of stuff with, was it the Mentors and the, oh god, there's one of the books where they sent the Mentor through the rift with the tech to make them into Primaris. I can't think of lore and paint tiny little lines at the same time. Thankfully, we're not at the point where we're painting the tiniest of lines. And I know these are quite bright and quite chunky, but they won't be. They won't be later. I don't think. It's been a while since I did this. Gonna do some messing around with it. So this could all be completely pointless. I might not even ever see this once I've whacked another bunch of stuff over the top of it. Like there's a story for a Dark Angel who pops out, doesn't know what's going on, and basically like becomes like a lord of another realm, and manages to find his way out, fights being corrupted and everything, and then gets picked up by the Dark Angels, and then basically gets tortured to death, even though he's never gone against the Emperor and stuff. Those are always sad stories, especially in 40k now. Like you just know that even if like if someone suddenly just popped out of the warp that was a loyalist, of the traitor chapters, like they would just be killed. Gotta love that Grimdark. Although saying that, quite a lot of chapters, unless they've like kept proper records, wouldn't even friggin' remember who's who. Tiny, tiny, tiny lines. Not the most exciting thing to be doing. Ooh, I think I've done this guy already. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I like it when I find ones that I've already done, as I say. They're not lined up in them. Right, he's not been done. And he's there. Balls. Honestly, thought maybe that could have got lucky then. So yeah, the plan is I think now for these will be to get some, because I want to go with a blue black. So I'm going to get some Pterodon turquoise contrast paint, thin it down, like really thin it down, slap it all over. And then basically, once that's dry, cry, because I've probably ruined everything. Once it's dry, I'm going to go back over, quickly redo these lines, but do them much nicer and a lot thinner. And then I'm going to glaze back in with probably some Abaddon Black or something, just to bring black back into the recesses. I don't know. I'm just saying words. Who knows? Who knows what I will do? I'm pretty sure I have already forgotten to do something on this. I quite liked using the old, what do they used to call it, marine juice type washes over black armor as well, just to bring some of that purple into any of it. But we'll go with the Pterodon turquoise first, and we'll see what happens. And then I'll decide. Ooh, I'm using an Artificer layer brush. I didn't notice. Small. Let's try not to wreck this brush within the next day or so, like I normally do. It's a semi-expensive brush. I've gone with a few unhelmeted heads with these. Balls, that was a big blob. There you go. Fixed. No one knew. No one will ever know. Right, so the plan is, let's get this guy done, get the Pterodon turquoise applied, and I'm going to take a break while it dries, because it'll take ages. I say take a break. We're going to do this match of work. We'll book some Stockholm. Book some deliveries out. It'd probably be a good idea to actually book the deliveries out. I am quite looking forward to doing this. Suggestions for AOS minis? As in for good AOS minis? Because so many Age of Sigmar minis are awesome. Age of Sigmar definitely gets the better sculpts. Controversial, I know. Oh God, I think I might have to rip this guy's bottom leg, shin guard, whatever the hell that is, off. Just noticed it's got a gap on it, which is weird. Tell you what, let's just paint it some more and then we'll rip it off afterwards. I'm sure that'll be fine. Right, did I miss anything? I know technically I haven't done every single line, but then I didn't need to. As I say, they've already been dry brushed and stuff. I'm just adding this on here because I'm pretty sure the turquoise is going to do something weird to it. And I can't remember what. Let's find out together. Okay. So I missed artist of a brush you cannot be used. What is next? Where is it? Bear with me while I go and find me some turquoise. It's pretty much right next to me. There it is. Okay, turquoise. Oh, I need something to mix this in. 100%. Any chance I've got a nice new mixing thing? I've got the mess. What is that? Is it clean? No, these are filthy. Oh god, that's really filthy. Can I peel it out? Oh, I could. Let's try that. Get a metal palette, they say. Easy to clean, they say. Look at the state of that. Let's just shake this turquoise up. And then we'll do some guesstimating. Oh god, is this like super thick? Fuck me, that's real thick. That's because I used it so much a few years back. That is a mega thick. Let's go with. I need a crappy brush that's a bit poofy. Yeah, that one will do. I need to violently remove this. Oh, actually, it's just peeling. Is it peeling? I feel like I'm going to get splinters of paint under my nails if I do that. There we go. Right, okay. Oh, definitely shouldn't have scraped that out all over the floor. But what was I supposed to do? Move? Don't be silly. Okay, I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure that's clean enough. Definitely. I mean, it's not like it's wet paint. Right, webs. Let's just go with this. So, it's not clean, but then it doesn't have anything in there, so fine. Now, I'm going to go like this. 1, 2, 3. I've got a pipette somewhere. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's not going to be enough. Alright, I'm going to stop pouring it. There you go. Ah, who knows how many that was. That's just basically how it works with me. Is I will count and then go no. Alright. I mean, there's definitely more than one in there. What are you doing, TikTok? You're being stupid. What is this box? We've detected inactivity during your current live. Complete your verification. How about you piss off? Right. 1 blob. I think it's just really dry, so it's quite concentrated now. So I'm just going to go with 2. Fuck me, look at the state of that. I'm sure it's super thin still. I'm sure I didn't just like put the most concentrated friggin' blobs of paint in there. How? Let's just wipe it on there. Oh, that's actually that's really thin. It went over that white paint. Should be fine. Who knows? Let's ruin a mini and find out, shall we? for science. So I'm literally just going to, oh my god, that's possibly way too strong. That'll be fine. Let's just go with it. Roll with it. Just have faith in the process. It looks like I'm going to be repainting all the soft seals now. So we don't need to worry about his shoulder pad. Oh, he says, and then he ends up painting it anyway. So that was really was like super thin. Super thin Pterodon turquoise. I'd rather have thinned that too much and chucked it on than not thinned it enough and chucked it on, because it's an incredibly strong colour. And just whacking it over the top of that black. And then I get the lovely job of glazing it all back. So once we've whacked all this over the top, I need to wait for it to dry. It does make a nice difference. And then what we'll do after is we'll get some Abaddon black, possibly on the wet palette, thin it down, and we will glaze all of the black back in. And then we can go to the absolute extreme at some point of going in and painting all of those highlights. Because where those highlights have already been applied, where they're too chunky, like you do notice it's quite a difference. In Gravis guy, trying to get that in that gap. Oh my god. Yeah, so that's pretty much it really. This is what I'm going to be doing for the next 5 or so minutes. And then be back later on once these have dried. And then I'll be doing the incredibly exciting glazing back the black, I expect. I think that's probably what will happen. Areas like down there on his leg where it's like really light. I don't don't know if you can. It's quite hard to focus on it. It does make a big difference for me anyway. I like blue black. There's like two types of black. There's blue black and then there's the grey black. So it depends on what you're highlighting in. This this thin down Pterodon turquoise just like basically takes that rust grey, Fenrisian grey, black Templars, like dry brush, kind of blends them in a bit nicer. It will mute down the little extra highlighting I was doing a second ago as well, so it'll tie that back in a bit better, a bit more. But we probably will need to go back in and redo them. It will make some of them just basically disappear. But it's fine, I knew that would happen. I say that, it's been absolutely ages since I did this. I painted any Deathwatch or Black Templars, Black Legion. It's been a hot minute. So I probably missed things out on what I'd normally do. Who knows? I don't think I was streaming or anything or recording anything back when I last did them as well, so chances of me being able to go back and look. Unless I've got it on like an Instagram or something post where I've written down what I did. It's going to be difficult. Oh, I need to stand up and stretch my legs. I need to get this done. Plasma Duder. Oh, really excited to actually play with these guys. I'm not 100% sure who my first squad's going to be. I think I'm going to take a couple melee. I think, it depends who I play against, actually, saying that. I think we're going to take the Plasma guy and the Breacher guy. Because I want to see what they're like. And the fact that you can double shoot with these and not just be bolters that you have to double shoot with is pretty sick. Just having to pay that extra AP to do the double shoot, double fight. It's pretty cool. Actually, double shoot, I don't think it would. Double fight doesn't. Nothing about double fight for that. Thank you. I appreciate likes. I appreciate likes and stuffs on TikTok. I don't really do TikTok that often though now. I do appreciate follows / subs, whatever the hell they're called, on YouTube. I'm going to do a giveaway on YouTube as soon as we hit our, is it 500? Yeah, I think it's 500. Hunt me down on YouTube and sub to the channel. whatever the free option is. Sub, follow, I can't remember. Do it. So we're going to give away a spearhead or a combat patrol or something once we hit our first 500. Oh my god, this Gravis guy just seems to have never-ending stuff to paint. There's no way that it's drying out that fast. Oh, right, I'm flagging. First day getting my eldest, first day in secondary school today, so we were up mega early, getting him all dressed in his blazer and his tie and button shirt and everything, and all his gear, and get him out the door super early. Alright, Phobos. Phobos Dewdare. Or Phobos 1 actually, there's 2 Phobos Marines. Yes, done. I don't think... I need to read the Phobos Marines. Not the knifey guy, he's just a knifey guy who can leap about a lot. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to take him. The other Phobos guy though, he has the like comms array thing. I need to properly read that ability because he might be good to have. I think I'm going to take the Sergeant. I don't think you have to take him. I will double check, but I think I'm probably going to take him anyway because he's got to use one of each stratagem for free if he's on the table. And one firefight or one strategic gambit, whatever the hell they're called. So using them without using command points, quite nice. I also need to read their equipment. So I think one of the equipment pieces lets them do 2 actions when they counteract, as long as they're different. One AP actions when they counteract, as long as they're different. What the fuck is that? That was an alarm. It's a random 10:30 alarm. What do I need to do at 10:30? Don't forget back to sleep. We're almost there. We're almost at the point where I can just leave them to dry for a bit. And then see what they look like. I'm 100% going back in and getting all their soft seals repainted in a lighter grey though, because that dark grey just looks black. Okay, one more. Yeah, this Xenophage Blade guy. I don't know if I'm going to run him. Does have a very strange, almost like suicide style of like attack. I think it was like with the sweep one. And if you engage with multiples, you can sweep and you can basically attack for free continuously. Like you do one sweep action and then you basically can then do it again and again and again until there's nobody left to do it to once. Like you can do it to like, if you charge like 3 dudes, you could technically do it 3 times and hit everybody, or until he dies. I need to reread that as well because I wasn't 100% sure on that. But in fairness, just me reading the rules a tiny bit is a massive improvement to normal. Normally I just read them when I need to, or as I'm playing. Right, I think that's him coated as well. So, let's just wash that brush out. Dispose of that very thinned down Herodon turquoise by basically putting it behind me where I can't see it. And then we'll have a quick look. Yeah, so that is better. I struggle to focus. It's definitely taken away we blended it kind of in a bit better, so I'll get a decent picture on my cameras later. But yeah, that's much better. Right, anyway, let's try and focus on everything. I'm going to disappear for a bit because I need them to dry out properly so that we can carry on. And if I carry on without them drying properly, it will just mess things up. So I will catch you later. Goodbye, people. See you in probably about half